picture this. It was the 4th of July, and like any other American family, we were ready for our annual celebration. The grill was hot, the potato salad was chilling, and the sky was that perfect shade of summer blue. My Uncle Dave, always the self-proclaimed fireworks expert, had bought what he called the mother of all firework displays from some guy in a parking lot. Now, I should mention that our neighborhood had this unspoken competition about who could put on the best show. The Hendersons across the street had already set the bar pretty high with their synchronized display last year. But Uncle Dave, he was convinced this was his moment to shine. As the sun started to set, we gathered in our backyard. The air was thick with anticipation and the smell of barbecue. Kids were running around with sparklers, drawing golden circles in the darkening sky. Everything seemed perfect, too perfect. Uncle Dave had arranged his fireworks in what he called a strategic formation. None of us questioned why he needed to connect them all with some sketchy-looking wiring he'd brought along. "It's for the grand finale," he kept saying, with that gleam in his eye that usually preceded disaster. When darkness finally fell, he gathered us all on the deck, promising a show we'd never forget. He wasn't wrong about that part. The first few fireworks went up beautifully. Reds, blues, and whites exploded overhead, and we all oohed and ahed appropriately. Then came what we now refer to as the incident. Uncle Dave hit his makeshift detonator, and for a split second, nothing happened. Then, like a scene from an action movie gone wrong, every single remaining firework ignited simultaneously. But instead of shooting upward, they started firing in every possible direction. What followed was pure chaos. Mrs. Johnson's prized rose bushes became unexpected casualties. The Hendersons' inflatable pool took a direct hit. People were diving behind lawn furniture, and someone's cat, I think it was the Wilsons, achieved a new land speed record running down the street. The grand finale came when one stray rocket made its way into our garage, where Dad had unfortunately left his collection of old newspapers. The fire department later complimented us on creating what they called the most visible signal flare they'd ever seen in a residential area. Miraculously, nobody was hurt, though Uncle Dave's eyebrows took several months to grow back. The neighborhood didn't exactly forget about it either. They now refer to our house as the 4th of July warning story. Where these days we stick to store-bought sparklers and leave the big displays to the professionals, Uncle Dave still comes to our celebrations, but he's been permanently relegated to hot dog grilling duty. Sometimes at night, when it's really quiet, you can still hear Mrs. Johnson muttering about her roses. So remember, folks, when someone tells you they're a self-proclaimed fireworks expert who bought their supply from some guy in a parking lot, maybe suggest watching the city's display instead. Your eyebrows will thank you.